Hey guys, new intro 2025J here. So this is the second video in the series of 6 that I made in the beginning of 2024, and I have added a lot of eye-opening things to this video as well, like I did with the other one. So even if you saw this when I originally put it out, it would not hurt you to do a refresher. And there is also a lot of new content I have added to the video. And just like the other video, I do let you know when I'm adding it by saying 2025J here, and when I'm done, saying 2025J out. So definitely check out this video. It will blow your mind. Also, if you do not know or understand the numbers, you should probably watch Dark Numbers 2.0 first, because I wanted to put that one out before this one, because this one does have a lot of numbers when I start breaking down the San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl football records. And it is absolutely crazy. So definitely check this out, whether you've seen it, whether you haven't seen it. You're not going to want to miss this. There's 4 more to this series. You definitely want to take them in order if you can. But without any further ado, here is the original intro and the presentation of the 58 ritual, What is Coming. Hey guys, have I got a video for you? This video is going to fill in all the missing pieces that were in the 2024 Hammers Coming Down video where I talked about the Super Bowl. Now that was a complete video, but since then I've received so many revelations through the Holy Spirit and through talking with people, and have collected so much information that this follow-up video was 100% necessary. And if you watch the other one, you're definitely going to want to watch this. There's so many warnings in here, and they come from all over the place. From comics, to movies, to articles, from the CDC, all kinds of stuff. We're going to cover the whole gauntlet in this video. There's a ton of information, and I tried to mix it up and put it together in a way that was enjoyable to watch, but edifying for the spirit. It is a very intimidating topic that I am talking about, but remember, we fear the Lord. We don't fear the things that are coming on this earth. We receive these warnings into our spirit so that we can be strong when these things come across the earth. Our hearts will not be failing us for fear, because we fear the Lord and only the Lord, and our strength is in Him. So, as always, watch to the end, because you're not going to want to miss any of this video. And please share and subscribe. And most importantly, do not watch the Super Bowl. Now I'm going to start off nice and easy with an intro to an older cartoon, because it covers exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So, without any further ado, let's dive in. So here's a throwback. This is from an older cartoon called The Powerpuff Girls. I'm sure you've all heard of it. Well, this mad scientist is creating 3 little girls. And while he's creating these girls, he accidentally breaks a canister full of chemical X. And it falls into the mixture of the potion and creates little girls with superpowers. Little Nephilim girls with chemical X in the potion.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction: chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born! Using their ultra superpowers, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil!
The things I'm going to be covering in today's video are new things. I might mention things that I brought up in the 2024 Hammers Coming Down video about the Super Bowl, and other things, but I'm not going to rehash things I've already spoken about, but I will bring you new things that were not in that video and things that have come to my attention since, either through the Holy Spirit or conversations with people. So, I guess in Super Bowl 54, these same two teams faced off. So, in 2020, while the pandemic was in full force, these two teams were playing. Now, you will remember from the Usher trailer that I showed you that everybody was saying, take that and rewind it back. And I said that was the Ouroboros, right? The serpent eating its tail. It's coming back around again. So here we have these two teams meeting yet again. And the last time they met in the Super Bowl was at the very beginning of the pandemic. And here they are meeting again this year, ushering in something new, right? They're rewinding it back. So what are they rewinding back? What could we possibly look for to come? Now, I did do a text post on YouTube explaining that I did make a mistake and I should not have given my opinion saying that it will be the Chiefs and the Lions, but as I was seeing all the red and the blue, I thought that it would definitely be the Lions. However, someone pointed out to me that the AFC and the NFC is always a red versus blue thing, which I did not know. So that makes sense. And if you do the 49ers and you add 4 plus 9 plus E plus R plus S, it's 55, which is Satan. So 49ers represent Satan, which makes really good sense. Now, if you add together the NFC and the AFC, you get 33. NFL is 32, which is 23. These are all spiritual possession numbers. Understand that football is just like the old gladiator stadiums in ancient Rome. Okay? This is what's happening. This is where they bring you in and get you to forget about what they're doing to you and to use your free will to take part in this ritual. Okay, so when you're taking part in a ritual, on your free will, you're opening yourself up to possession. Now, I will clearly say right now that if I were you, I would not watch, listen to, have anything to do with the Super Bowl. I would just stay away from it, tell people you're not interested in talking about it. Of course, you can warn about it. I'm just saying, game day, have nothing to do with this wicked, wicked event. Okay? That's just my advice. Now, something else I found very interesting was that if you add the 49ers, which is 55 Satan, and the Chiefs, which is 50, and you put them together, you get 555. Which is 666. And remember when I was showing you about Allegiant Stadium, they kept making a reference to how it is in location with Interstate 15, which is 555. 49ers and Chiefs is 555. This stuff does not just happen, you guys. This is not an accident. And I have so much to show you that has now come out into the open. So that is why I'm making this follow-up video. So, if the last time these two teams met in the Super Bowl, it was at the start of a pandemic, what could be happening this time? What kind of sickness can we expect this time? This is a commercial from last year's Super Bowl. And in it, you are going to hear Will Ferrell make a reference to Interstate 15. If you'll remember from the Hammer video I just made about the Super Bowl, when I was reading the Wikipedia article about the new stadium, I made a point to mention that they kept bringing up its location in reference to Interstate 15, which I said that they wouldn't keep mentioning it unless they wanted us to receive some kind of message from it. And we know that 15 is 555, which is 666. But in this zombie commercial, which takes place in Vegas, Will Ferrell will make a direct reference to Interstate 15, just like the Wikipedia page kept pointing out in reference to Allegiant Stadium. So let's have a listen. This is a two-part commercial.
Hello. Hi. Are you busy? Can I just ask you a quick question? Do you know how to get back to the 15? Do you know how to get back to the 15?
So do you know how to get back to the 15? Back to Satan. Alright, this is zombies taking place in Las Vegas. This is last year's Super Bowl commercial. Very interesting.
I think I took a wrong turn at that twisted piece of metal. You know what? I'm good. You have a great one. Alright? Stupid zombie. General Motors is going electric. And Netflix.
So, here we have General Motors, GMC. GMC is 23. G is 7, M is 13, which is 20, and C is 3. So here you have the number for spiritual possession. Now they're going to Las Vegas, right, for the Super Bowl. And there's a bunch of zombies. This is an EV commercial. EV is 27, which is 72. 66 plus 6. Just wanted to point these things out because these are important details to pick up on when we are seeing what they're trying to show to us.
Joining in by including more EVs in their movies and shows. Swarmed by zombies? Ouch! EV. Kidnap? EV. Here? Wrong era.
So he says here, wrong era. Right, because the Antichrist didn't already come, like some people believe, but is coming. Okay, these are all mockery and warnings to us.
Wrong era. Not here either.
You're ruining the show, you idiot.
I said not here, Erica.
So here he is, playing a role in Stranger Things, right, with his Hellfire Club shirt, which is about opening the pit and bringing the upside down, or hell, into earth, which is what CERN is going to do. So they're just putting this out there. CERN plus medicine plus ritual equals zombie.
Erica.
Later, loser! There goes another runner.
But anywhere else it makes sense? Why not make more of those cars electric?
Why not make more of those cars electric? So here in the back on the left you have 303, 33. Here in the front next to Will Ferrell on the left hand side you have 239. 2025J here. So don't forget that 9 and 7 can be also interchangeable because 9 for September, Septa is 7, so 9 and 7 can be interchangeable. So his shirt can actually also say 237, the Cage of the Beast, 5G. 2025J out. That's 23, which is spiritual possession, and 9, which is the number of the beast. Will Ferrell is wearing 313. This could be interpreted two ways. You could do 33 times 1, which is 33, or 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 7. 7 heads of the beast. You have this woman on his right, 434. 43 plus 4 is 47. Spiritual possession. This woman in the back is wearing number 444. That is 12, which is 66 Apollo. And they're all ready to run.
Why not make more of those cars electric? It's the least they can do. You could kill me. I mean, you literally did.
So, here you have Will Ferrell saying you can make more cars electric. It's the least you can do. He started out this commercial human and ended a zombie in Las Vegas. Now, if you've watched my Mary Poppins videos or seen any of my breakdowns on the syringe, you will know that a major part of the syringe is called a ferrule. And Will Ferrell is an injection of will, free will, in that kind of sense of will. So his name in itself is talking about an injection that will change how you make choices. Will Ferrell. Okay, understand what's being said here. Let's just take a look at this closing title here. It says, let's give EVs the stage they deserve. Remember, I told you that E plus V is 27, which is 72. Okay, the 72 entities that rule over America. 72 is 66 plus 6. Let's give, so this basically says, let's give the fallen angels the stage they deserve. And here is the zombie apocalypse. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm trying to put down here. This is from a movie called Oblivion, which was filmed in 2013, just like their Mercedes-Benz commercial. And in this clip, you are going to see reference to a signal, a place in the middle of nowhere, which is called Area 17, and you will see they're sending the signal to space, aka the spiritual wickedness that lies in high places. So here you can hear the signal. Here's the reference to the towers, the 5G. Notice the cover of the box that's sending the signal. You have the Empire State Building, creating the Empire State. 2025J here. Remember from the Hammer video where I showed you the breakdown about the Star Wars movies and the Empire, building an Empire State. The Empire State Building. Get it? 2025J out. Which looks like a syringe on a box with a sunburst on it. The sun god Helios or Apollo or Ra or whatever you want to call him. Satan.
The scavs are using the building as an antenna.
It's a set of coordinates.
Grid 17.
Grid 17. What the hell's out there?
Nothing. It's the middle of nowhere.
Grid 17. What the hell's out there?
Nothing. It's the middle of nowhere.
Look at the scabs.
Send a signal off planet Jack.
Grid 17. What's out there? Nothing. It's in the middle of nowhere. Well, where is Las Vegas? It's in the middle of the desert. It's in the middle of nowhere. Grid 17Q. So what's happening here? There's a signal being sent to space, or where the spiritual wickedness dwells, in the second heaven, right? Spiritual wickedness in high places. And it's signaling them to come down to grid 17, which is Q, the Antichrist spirit, in the middle of nowhere, which, if you ask me, is a reference to Las Vegas, which is 55 if you turn the LV into Roman numerals. 55. Satan. Which, of course, gives way to its nickname, Sin City.
Nothing. It's the middle of nowhere.
Look at the scabs. Scabs.
Send a signal off planet Jack.
I'm shutting it down.
Did you hear her say, why would the scabs send a signal off planet? I will play that one more time.
Nowhere.
Why would the Scabs?
Send a signal off planet Jack.
I'm shutting it down.
So they're sending a signal off planet to the dark spirits to call them down to this grid area 17, which is in the middle of nowhere. This is another clip from the 2013 movie Oblivion. Now, I know they are in New York in this movie, but let's try to forget about that and see what's happening in the movie. See the spiritual side. Now, we're going to see a stadium, and we're going to hear that Jack, who is played by Tom Cruise, is Tech 49, as in the 49ers. So let's just have a watch and see what happens.
Tech 49. Tech 49.
Copy, Tower.
What happened? I lost you for a second.
Really?
Here you see a football stadium. Okay? And Tech 49, the 49ers, are going to land in the stadium. Wait till you hear what's said.
Drone 166 put up a hell of a fight. I'm coming in hot.
So drone 166, now keep in mind that one can be added or multiplied. Okay, so 1 is a number that can be something or nothing. Now, if we add 1, 6, and 6, we have 13. That's 58. Okay, Super Bowl 58. If we multiply 66 times 1, it's just 66, which is Apollo, which is this drone you see over by the field goal post. That's drone 166. So Apollo has crash landed, and if you want to read the numbers both ways, you could say Apollo crash landed at 58 on the football field, where the 49 is landing. As you can see, it's on his ship 49, which is also 13. But let's keep watching.
You know, I read about this game. It was played right here, the last Super Bowl.
Please don't tell me it was a classic.
Classic game. How about 4?
The ball.
He said, I remember reading about this game. It was played right here, the last Super Bowl. Okay, so here you have Mr. 49ers in this football field talking about it being the last Super Bowl where Apollo came down after the signal to the field in drone 58.
It was played right here, the last Super Bowl. You know, I read about this game. It was played right here, the last Super Bowl.
Please don't tell me it was a classic.
Classic game. How about 4?
The ball is on the 50-yard line. Seconds left on the clock.
Ball is snapped. QB fumbles. Disaster. Looks like the game is over. But this QB runs
Jack.
back, picks up his own fumble. It's a wall of linebackers closing in on him. So he throws a long ball. Hail Mary. 80,000 people on their feet watching this ball sail.
He throws a long ball in the last Super Bowl. A Hail Mary. Here you can clearly see his number 49. A Hail Mary, which is a hail to Lucifer.
His own fumble. It's a wall of linebackers closing in on him. So he throws a long ball. Hail Mary. 80,000 people on their feet watching this ball sail through the air. And downfield, rookie wide receiver, third string, leaps out of the pack. Touchdown.
I don't know about you guys, but this is pretty crazy. All these pieces of the puzzle are fitting together and painting quite a picture for us. 2025J here, so I figured I would just add this in because this fits into what we're talking about here. This is a movie called Army of the Dead, which was put out in 2021. And here is the plot line. A U.S. military convoy traveling from Area 51 collides with a car on a highway. The convoy's cargo, a zombie, escapes, killing and infecting soldiers before heading into Las Vegas, infecting most of its population. After the military intervention fails, the government quarantines the city. So here is another movie about a zombie apocalypse taking place starting in Las Vegas. And you can see down here, if you look at the running time, it is 58. And if you look at the release date, it was May 14th, 2021. May is 5. 1 and 4 is 5. 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. So the release date is 555-666. 2025J out. Now that we know about San Francisco 49ers, aka Satan, let's have a look at the history of the San Francisco playing in the Super Bowl and what number Super Bowls they played in, which I think you will find very interesting. So this is a Wikipedia page, as you can see here, list of Super Bowl champions. And if we scroll down to the first time San Francisco 49ers, or Satan, appeared in the Super Bowl, it was in Super Bowl 16, which is 88. So here Satan has opened up a portal and is playing in the Super Bowl 16. So the portal is opened. 2025 Jay here. You will notice that both teams have 101 in their records. And if you total up the score, you get 47, which is spiritual possession. And if you do the numerical value for X, V, and I, it is 55. Satan. 2025 J out. The next time San Francisco plays in the Super Bowl is Super Bowl 19. The Metonic Cycle. The Ouroboros. Okay? Spell work. So the portal was opened. The spell work is put in place. 2025 J here. So this Metonic Cycle Super Bowl was played in 1985. 19 again. Metonic Cycle 58. The Rise of the Antichrist. If you add 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 5 together, you get 23. If you do the numerical value for X, I, and X, it is 49, which is the team that won, the 49ers. If you look at the score, 3 plus 8 is 11. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7, 11. Here you have 22. And here you have 5, and 2 and 3 is 5. So 55 and 22. Satan, Lucifer. And if you put them together, it's 77, which is 711. I think it's also important to point out that this Metonic Cycle Super Bowl 19, this spell work of Apollo, took place in the season of 1984, which is the dystopian year marker. 2025J out. The next Super Bowl San Francisco or Satan will appear in is Super Bowl 23, Spiritual Possession. You guys, this is crazy, but it keeps going. 2025J here. January 22nd is also 23. January is 1. You add 1 to 22, you have 23. 1989 is 27, which is 999. In the portal year of 88. If you go look at the score, you see it's 20 to 16. Not only does this add up to 36 3/6s, but it's also 216 without the 0, which is 6 times 6 times 6. You have 33 here, 22 here. You add them together, you have 55, the numerical value for Satan. If you take the numerical value for these letters, X, X, I, it is 75, which is 237. The Cage of the Beast 5G. 2025J out. They appeared in the next Super Bowl. You might wonder, what is 24? Well, 24 is 888, which we know 888 and 888 is 1776. 2025J here. Now we know this is Super Bowl 24, which is 888. But January is 1, plus 2 is 3. 3 eighths is also 888. 1 plus 9 is 19. The Metonic cycle. Here you can see 44 and 44, which is the Antichrist, Obama. If you add 1 and 9 and 8 and 9 for the season, it's 27, which is 999, which is 666. 2025J out. Look at the score of this one, this portal they opened. 55, Satan. 49ers, 55, Satan. 2025J here. 10 is also 5 plus 5, 55, Satan. So on both sides you have 55, 44, 55, 44. Both sides are 99, which is 911. If you add the two scores together, 55 plus 10, you get 65, which is 11, which is 101, the doorway to the Antichrist. You just can't make this stuff up. 2025J out. This new portal here, 888. So, what happens after this portal? We have San Francisco playing in Super Bowl 29. That's 2 nines. 99, which is 9 times 11. 911. Okay, so this new portal's opened up. If you guys have paid attention or seen the videos I've made about the towers, the twins, then you will know that they were both 8-sided and that the new tower is, the new One World Trade, is 1,776 feet tall, which is 888 and 888. The two became one. So back here at this portal, 24th Super Bowl, 888 was opened up to release 911. And this was 6 years, you guys. 6 years before 9/11. You think that's a coincidence that it's 6 years? 2025J here. If we add up all the numbers for this date, 1 plus 2 plus 9 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 5, it equals 36. 3 6s. 1995, 1 and 5 is 6. You have 996, which is 666. 9s and 6s are always interchangeable. From season 1994, which is 23. 1 and 9 is 10, and 9 and 4 is 13, which makes a total of 23. They had a record of 55 and 101, which is the doorway to the Antichrist and Satan. Now, I do know that these numbers are totaled here. So you can see if we look above at Dallas Cowboys, you can see 4 and 3 was the record, but 7 total. 0 and 4, 4 total. So I do get that this is the same 4, but they put it this way because they're trying to show you something. Okay, all this stuff, this is ritual magic. All these numbers are put here for a reason. Now the score, 49 plus 26 is 75, which is 5G or 237, the cage of the beast. If you take the numerical value for X, 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 and I, it equals 81, which is 18 backwards, which is 666. 2025J out. Now, the next time San Francisco will appear in a Super Bowl is in 2013. They lost this one, but I think that's irrelevant. 2013. 13. That's 5 plus 8. Not only that, it's rebellion. And look at what Super Bowl it is. Super Bowl 47. Okay? That's human plus a demonic spirit. Spiritual possession. 2025J here. The last Super Bowl they were in was Super Bowl 29. 47 minus 29 is 18, which is 666 or 9, the number of the beast. The game's played on February 3rd, which is 23, in the year of 2013, which is 33, and the season is 2012, which is 23. The score is 34 to 31. 3 and 4 is 7. 3 and 1 is 4. That's 74, or 47, which is what Super Bowl this is. If you add the numbers together, 34 and 31, you get 65, which is 101, the doorway to the Antichrist. 2025J out. This is a Super Bowl commercial from 2013 starring William Dafoe as Lucifer, and he's trying to get a young man to sign his soul over for the new Mercedes CLA. Now, Mercedes, which I'll put their symbol on the screen right now, this symbol represents 33. As you can see, it is split into thirds, 33. Mercedes is 72. 66 plus 6. The CLA, that's 1688, which is a portal. And you're going to see some connections made here. Many portals opened that have now been fulfilled, which we will see. And watch all the stuff that is promised to this kid. It's all the same stuff that the Hollywood elites get, and I will go through and pause as we get through it because I want to point some things out.
Nice car.
Sure is.
Make a deal with me, kid. You can have the car and everything that goes along with it.
Red carpet service, supermodel wife. And look who it is he's dancing with. Usher, who is this year's Super Bowl halftime show, which obviously I covered in the other video. How interesting these connections are being made. So, Satan talking people into selling their souls, being led down the red carpet, hanging out with Usher. So after he meets Usher, he finds these 3 girls and brings them to Las Vegas. See what's happening here? Spiritual possession taking place. This is all stuff that we're seeing happen right now. Usher, Vegas, soul selling, spiritual possession. Now he's on the cover of magazines. And notice the center cover. He is on a white horse. Apollo. Return of the hero. See? This is all about spiritual possession. On the left-hand side it says new class of man. Yeah. Part man, part demonic spirit. And this is taking place in Vegas. The return of the hero, Apollo, who is their hero. 2025J here. On the magazine on the right, living the life of your dreams. This is what Satan sells his minions. And downtown goes uptown. This is a reference to hell coming onto the earth. 2025J out. All these fans are standing out in front of building 818. 8 is a portal. 18 is 666. So you're watching demonic possession, which is what's happening. This kid has just become Apollo, and now these girls are possessed and crazed and are going to chase after him.
So what do you say? Thanks.
Starting at 29,900. 29, that's 99, third 9. 999 or 666. 2025J here. It's also 911 because 2 and 9 is 11 and 9 is 911. And Mercedes symbol is broken up into thirds, which is 33, 33, 33, which is also 99, which is also 911, because 9 times 11 is 99. 2025J out. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm trying to show you.
Thanks. But I think I got this.
This September, set your soul free. The Seductive CLA, starting.
Set your soul free. Notice the 13 is flaming. Okay? 13. That's 5 plus 8. 58. Super Bowl 58. You guys, this stuff is crazy. The next time San Francisco appears in the Super Bowl is 4 years ago. In 2020, when the sickness was arriving that needed a cure. This was in Super Bowl 54. 5 and 4 is 9. That is the number of the beast. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my Number of the Beast video. I lay it out so clearly and so in depth, there's no mistaking it. So, all these Super Bowls that the 49ers, aka 55, aka Satan, appears in, are demonic spell works, all leading up to this year's Super Bowl, Super Bowl 58, which I covered in depth in the 2024 Hammer video, which is the last video I just put out. So as you can see, there is something to the 49ers being Satan and taking part in these Super Bowl rituals, these giant rituals that people give their energy and their praise and their worship to. And on this one, 54, there was a sickness around. And there is another sickness coming through, Disease X, in 2024. Coincidence? I think not. 2025J here. So this game was played on February 2nd, 2020. And Super Bowl 58 is played on February 11th, 2024. Well, February 2nd and February 11th have the exact same numerical value, 22 for Lucifer. Now 22 for February in 2020, that's 44. The Antichrist number, LIV, is 43. If you do the numerical value, not the Roman numeral, but the numerical value, is 43, which is 322 Skull and Bones, which is the season of the next Super Bowl that these guys meet in. The Super Bowl was played in 2024, but the season was 2023. So from 2019 to 2023 is 4 years. That's IV, or 22, okay? The score is 31 to 20. This can be looked at as 33. It can be looked at as 51. It can be looked at as 24. So 33 is obvious. 51 is 15 backwards. That's 555666. And 24 is 888. And here you have 33 and 77. 33 and 77 is 101, the doorway to the Antichrist. And the game was played on 44, Obama, the Antichrist. 2025J here with the update to this video, because when I made this video, the Super Bowl had not been played. So here you can clearly see this is Super Bowl 58. Took place on February 11th, 2024. Okay, so February 11th, 22, that's Lucifer's number. The season was played in 2023, which is 322. The Super Bowl obviously was in a portal year, which is 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. Now, here is the final score. San Francisco ended up losing in overtime, and the score was 25 to 22. So you have 55 Satan, 22 Lucifer, and then if you add them together, you get 47, which represents spiritual possession. OT is 35, which is 555, which is 666. They put their record here, 4 and 2, and then the total here is 6. So what they're doing here is showing you 66, and then under the 49ers, 88. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. 2025J out. So as many of you know, I've done a super in-depth video on Halo called CERN's Halo, which makes all kinds of connections with what's going on in the satanic story with Halo, CERN. If you haven't seen that, it is lengthy, but definitely worth the watch because the connections are unbelievable. But Halo Season 2 is coming out, and its release date is February 8th. February 8th, it's coming out, which is 2/8/2024. 2 8s is 88, and 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. So here you have 8, 8, 8. The Halo, the Ouroboros, the portal, is coming out on 8/8/8. Now, if that's not crazy enough, I'm going to show you some connections. Here we have Allegiant Stadium with a Super Bowl ad, 2/11/24. So I saw this and could not believe my eyes. No pun intended. This is a screen that I did not even know existed on this stadium until today. And look at what it is. It's a giant eye. One eye. This is so demonic, you guys. So demonic. We know Super Bowl is on the 11th, right? Halo comes out on the 8th. So what's happening between the 8th and the 11th? Well, this new game is coming out called Skull and Bones. And the open beta is from February 8th to the 11th. So from Halo's release date to the Super Bowl will be filled with skull and bones. Now, if that's not crazy enough, its official release date is February 16th, which is 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. I hope you can see the demonic spellwork ritualism that's going on here. So the Halo is opening the portal. Skull and Bones is coming through, right? Skull and Bones is 322. 322 backwards, 223, is the address of 23andMe. This is a spell opening people up to spiritual possession, which will be taking place at the Super Bowl. 322. 3 times 22 is 66. That's Apollo coming through the portal to the Super Bowl. On the 11th, one eye, Apollo. So besides the sickness that happened in 2020 at Super Bowl 54, which is the number of the beast, which we saw the 49ers Satan played in. What else happened in 2020 that is trying to make a comeback in 2024? Just like the sickness is coming back around, so is something else. If we turn 54 backwards, we get 45. Donald Trump. Remember, he called himself the father of the medicine.
I would have put a warning on or something on just that particular vaccine, but I certainly would have paused it and gotten front page news all over the world, and then people don't want it, and it probably even affects the others, because, there's a big situation with a lot of people don't want to take the vaccine. Well, this played right into their hands, and they want me to do public service messages and everything about everybody taking the vaccine. And look, I guess in a certain way, I'm the father of the vaccine because I was the one that pushed it. In a way, I'm the father of the vaccine because I was the one that pushed it. In a way, I'm the father of the vaccine because I was the one that pushed it. To get it done in less than 9 months was a miracle. Fauci said it would take 3 to 5 years. He thought it was something that just wouldn't be that effective because it would take so long to get. I pushed the FDA like they have never been pushed before. I wouldn't exactly say they're in love with me. They have never. This is a very bureaucratic organization. I pushed them like they've never been pushed before, and that's why we have it. When they did the pause on Johnson & Johnson, I thought that was a very, very stupid thing to do.
Would you recommend to our audience that they get the vaccine then?
I would recommend it, and I would recommend it to a lot of people that don't want to get it, and a lot of those people voted for me, frankly.
He harnesses the Apollo spirit. He is one of the 7 heads of the beast. He is one of the antichrists. Not the Antichrist, but one of the Antichrists, for there are many. Remember that MAGA, if we go to the Church of Satan and scroll down, you see that MAGA is the 5th and highest degree in the Church of Satan. And this is the spell that America is under, MAGA. And the wizard harnessing the Apollo spirit that's making it all happen is Trump. As you can clearly see here, he's giving you that 666 Illuminati hand gesture. Now, remember, the sickness came during his presidency. So he brought the sickness and the cure. Okay, that's what Apollo does. He brings the sickness and the cure. Remember that originally that it was believed the sickness came from bats, and Trump is known as Batman, right? Because his Trump Tower looks like a bat from above, and he is a billionaire who is trying to save the city of New York. That's his story. That's what Bruce Wayne does. So Batman brings the bat sickness and rescues everybody with the bat sickness cure. 2025J here. Now, in the movie Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne, Batman, is trained by Ra Al Ghul. You know, Ra, the sun god, Apollo. And after this training, he goes back to try to save Gotham from someone named Crane, Jonathan Crane, who calls himself the Scarecrow. Now, the Scarecrow has a fear-inducing hallucination, as I'll read you this highlighted portion. Donning a Scarecrow mask, Crane sprays Falcone with a fear-inducing hallucinogen, driving him insane and transferring him to Arkham Asylum. While investigating Crane, Batman is ambushed by him and sprayed with the hallucinogen. Batman barely escapes and is saved by Alfred and Fox, who develop an antidote for the hallucinogen. When Rachel accuses Crane of corruption, he reveals he has introduced his drug into Gotham's water supply and drugs her with the hallucinogen. Batman subdues Crane, sprays him with his own chemical. While being interrogated, Crane claims to work for Ra's al Ghul. Batman evades the police to get Rachel to safety and administers the antidote. He gives her 2 vials, one for Gordon and the other for mass production. So, in the city of Gotham, New York, where Trump's from, Batman is trained and brought up by Ra, Apollo, and during his control over the city and the country, a fear-induced hallucination comes that we refer to as the sickness. Don't forget that it was New York City where all this began in the United States under the governorship of Andrew Cuomo and the whole nursing home ritual debacle. And then he creates a cure for that sickness. Well, Apollo brings the sickness and the cure. I mean, the connections between Trump and Batman are almost endless. He did pretty much quote verbatim what Bane said about giving the city back to the people in his inauguration speech. 2025J out. Keep this in mind. New York City actually used to be called Gotham, and I will show you proof of that right now. Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, which sacrifices many in the womb, when she was arrested, if we go here and look at this 1921 newspaper article, you can see Margaret Sanger jailed by Gotham police. So, New York. See here, it says New York. Gotham. So New York City in New York used to be called Gotham. Now, Trump is Batman. New York is Gotham. What's so important about Trump being Batman and ruling over Gotham? Well, Gotham is a wicked and evil place, which very well could have been originally set up and ruled by Nimrod. We know that America is Mystery Babylon, and New York City is the city of Mystery Babylon, referred to in Revelation. Gotham, aka Mystery Babylon, or Babylon, the mighty city of Babylon, New York City, will be judged in Revelation 18. says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come." So New York City is going to be destroyed, for it has led the way in corruption around the world. This is where the UN is. This is where the demonic corporations are. This is where the golden bull statue is. Let's take a look at Exodus 32. Exodus 32. "And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down off the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. As for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives and your sons and your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them in their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. So they made a golden calf. Well, now in New York City they have a bull. So their idolatry has fully grown up. It has grown up from a calf into a bull. Okay? This is demonic. This is what's being said here in New York City. Not only is this bull here, but you have Prometheus, which is Lucifer, the Statue of Liberty. See, he has the flame in his right hand, and he is coming up out of the ring, the halo, CERN, which we are covering in this video, either before or after this clip. I'm not quite sure. There's many things in this video, so I'm gotta figure out how to piece it all together. But you have Prometheus, who is obviously a fallen angel. This is the Paramount logo. This is Mount Hermon, where the fallen angels came down. This is CERN, the ring, Lord of the Rings, the halo. Also, in this evil city you have Atlas, the god who holds up the world, the Titan, Atlas. There are so many of these false god statues and idolatrous figures in New York City. It's not even funny. This is the city of Babylon, the mother of harlots. Now, Nimrod is Apollo, the mighty hunter. Nimrod is the Antichrist. Nimrod built the Tower of Babel with the intent to storm the throne room of God and to kill him and be seated in the throne, which is exactly what Isaiah tells us about Lucifer. So here in the book of Jasher, chapter 9, verse 25 and 26, you see, And the building of the tower was unto them a transgression and a sin, and they began to build it. And whilst they were building against the Lord of heaven, they imagined in their hearts to war against him and to ascend into heaven. And all these people and all the families divided themselves in 3 parts. The first said, We will ascend into heaven and fight against him. The second said, We will ascend to heaven, place our own gods there, and serve them. And the third part said, We will ascend to heaven and smite with bows and spears. And God knew all their works and all their evil thoughts. He saw the city and the tower which they were building. So you can clearly see they were building the tower to get up into heaven and take it over. So Nimrod, he built cities. And we're going to take a look at that right now. But first, you're probably wondering why I'm talking about Nimrod in reference to Gotham, New York City. Well, let's break it down. in the Batman movie, you have the city of Gotham, which says Got-Ham, Nimrod's grandfather, who stole the skins that God fastened for Adam and Eve and gave them to his son Cush, who gave them to his son Nimrod, who put them on and became a mighty hunter. Okay? Where all the crazy people go? Arkham Asylum. Here's Ark and Ham. Noah's Ark. Ham is Noah's son. Arkham. Okay, this is the demonic Ark. Arkham Asylum in Gotham. Gotham. Okay? This is why Batman is over Gotham. This is why this city is spiritually wicked. Let's look into Nimrod. Genesis 10. And the sons of Ham, Cush. I'm not reading all of it because I just want you to see the stuff that is relevant to what I'm trying to show you. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord, and the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. In case you don't know it, Shinar is America. And we were shown this in the TV series, I believe was made by MTV, called The Shannara Chronicles. And it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, which is America. Okay? So, to get more into this, we are going to get into the book of Jasher a little bit. This is the book of Jasher, chapter 7. And Cush, the son of Ham, the son of Noah, took a wife in those days in his old age, and bare a son, and they called his name Nimrod, saying, at the time the sons of men began to rebel and transgress against God, and the child grew up, and his father loved him exceedingly, for he was the son of his old age. And the garments of skin, which God made for Adam and his wife when they went out of the garden, were given to Cush. For after the death of Adam and his wife, the garments were given to Enoch, the son of Jared. And when Enoch was taken up to God, he gave them to Methuselah his son. And at the death of Methuselah, Noah took them and brought them to the ark, and they were with him until he went out of the ark. And in their going out, Ham stole those garments from Noah his father, and he took them and hid them from his brothers. And when Ham begat his firstborn Cush, he gave him the garments in secret. And they were with Cush many days. And Cush also concealed them from his sons and brothers. And when Cush had begotten Nimrod, he gave him those garments through his love for him. And Nimrod grew up, and when he was 20 years old, he put on those garments. And Nimrod became strong when he put on the garments. And God gave him might and strength. And he was a mighty hunter in the earth. Yea, he was a mighty hunter in the field. And he hunted the animals and built altars. And he offered upon them the animals before the Lord. And Nimrod strengthened himself. And he rose up from against his brethren. And he fought the battles of his brethren against their enemies round about. And the Lord delivered all enemies of his brethren into his hands. And God prospered him from time to time in his battles, and he reigned upon the earth. So here you can see that Nimrod was the mighty hunter on the earth. He had the whole earth subdued. It says right here, he reigned upon the earth. So he was over the whole earth. He was the hammer of the earth. Nothing new under the sun. America was the hammer of the whole earth. And just like Nimrod fell and was destroyed, so will America. Now Nimrod is considered to be Osiris, which if you've seen my Dark Truth of America video, you will know that America is built upon Osiris. Okay, this stuff is crazy. These revelations are amazing, you guys. So, Osiris is Ra, is Apollo, is Helios, is Lucifer, okay, which is a 7-headed beast, which possesses people, and Trump is one of those people. And he brought the sickness first, and now he's trying to make a comeback. He's going to be taken out. These are signs and symbols for us to be warned about the things that are coming and how to see them coming. So, the father of the medicine, the bringer of the sickness and the cure, is coming back around again. Just like San Francisco 49ers and the Chiefs. They're coming back around again. Trump was out in 2020, coming back around again in 2024. Kansas City Chiefs and 49ers were out in 2020, and they're coming back around again in 2024. Batman is bringing the new sickness, Disease X, and it's being brought through the medicine which contains
Chemical X. Chemical X.
So if you do a search, you will see, if you type in Disease X 2024, that this is what the World Economic Forum was talking about. Disease X is a preparedness scenario and not a real disease planned by the WEF. So, Disease X is a pandemic preparedness scenario. Well, that term sounds familiar to me. And this is supposed to be happening in 2024. Well, the last thing I remember them giving us a preparedness scenario for was Preparedness 101. Here we have 101, right? The door to the Antichrist, a zombie pandemic. And this was put out in 2011. 101. So here we have the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, putting out this public preparedness warning about a zombie pandemic. And no, this is not a joke. I have it right here. Shall we read it? I get to pick next movie. That one's going to give me nightmares. Oh, you're such a baby. It wasn't that scary. You know, that kind of stuff would never really happen. Isn't that what they do, right? They show you things so that you fictionalize it in your mind, so you don't believe that any of the stuff could ever happen. Well, I'm going to try to get some sleep. Don't stay up too late. All right, Max, I will be on the lookout for the boogeyman. Ha, ha, ha. Very funny. The end. Stay tuned for Channel 2 Nightly News. In other news, several people have been hospitalized after a strange virus began spreading rapidly through the southeast. Scientists haven't identified the virus yet, but symptoms include slow movement, slurred speech, and violent tendencies. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is recommending that people distance themselves from anyone displaying these symptoms. They are also recommending families gather emergency supplies to make plans in case they are asked to evacuate. You can get more information at emergencycdc.gov. Emergency supplies evacuation. What's going on, Max? So, where's this say it's going to happen? Spreading rapidly through the southeast. Okay, now, is this Disease X? Because something else is happening this year in 2 months. We have the X of the Eclipse Pass from 2017 and April 8th, 2024. And this is the southeast, where it crosses paths. As you can see, if you look on many different maps, they all show the same kind of thing. But it's going to cross paths in the southeast. X. Disease X. See what I'm trying to Say without saying it. What is the connection between the Super Bowl and the eclipse, which is bringing the X across America? Well, if you type in the date for the Super Bowl, 2/11/2024, and then you type in the date of the eclipse, 4/8/2024, you will see that it is 58 days. Super Bowl 58. The rise of the Antichrist. So from Super Bowl 58 to the eclipse is 58 days. Half of 58 is 29 days. If you add 29 days onto the date from the Super Bowl, so we have the Super Bowl date, and we add 29 days to get the halfway point between the Super Bowl and the eclipse, we see it is March 11th, 3/11/33. You guys, this is absolutely mind-blowing stuff here. Let's check the internet. A zombie virus. This does not look good, Max. Let's check the CDC's website. An emergency preparedness kit. Hey, I better print this out. Okay, Max, let's see what we can get gathered up. Now, keep in mind, what do we have here? We have a boy and his dog, right? Preparing for the zombie apocalypse, which is going to take out a good chunk of the world. Well, let me show you something else. This is from the movie The Book of Eli, which is about the apocalypse, okay? The end of the world. Notice on his poster right here, it says a boy and his dog. An R-rated, rather kinky tale of survival. And here you can see a woman laying down at the top of a well with a ladder in it. If we go to the next shot, we can zoom in on the poster right here. And it says the year is 2024. I don't know if you can see that. It's looking a little dull on my screen. But this says the year is 2024. As you can see right here, it says 2024. And what you have here is an open door. Okay? Here's the dog. You have an open door at the top of a well with a ladder in it. Remember, the angels were going up and down the ladder in Jacob's vision. So here we have a ladder going down to the pit. So these are demonic angels with a door that has been opened to them in 2024 coming up. Now this, a boy and his dog, is mockery because dog backwards is God and boy is his son. So a boy and his dog, a rather kinky tale of survival. This is mockery against Jesus and the Father. Continuing on, it says, next the pair go down to the basement. Man, I forget I had this. It used to be my dad's. It's got a little radio. He was always listening to the weather report when storms came through. Guess we'll add it to the supplies. Well, looks like we got almost everything. Water, food, radio, flashlight. Yep. I guess I need to bring some of your stuff, too. Well, what a good owner. Feed your dog. Well, that should do it. Let's see if there have been any new developments. Wow, looks like they're everywhere. Thump. Huh? Maybe we should take a break from the horror movies, Max. I'm acting like Julie, jumping at every little noise. Grr, what in the... Let's see what's all the racket's about. Snowball, what are you doing? Max, leave Snowball alone. Did Mrs. Clement let you out again? You know you're not supposed to run off like that. Just then, the dull sound of shuffling and moaning can be heard from outside. Now what? Hello? Miss Clements? This is so bad, you guys. Miss Clements, you don't look so good. Maybe you should go lie down. I'll bring Snowball back for you. Miss Clements? Aw, it's me, Todd, your neighbor. You really don't look well. You should go back home. and I'll bring Snowball by in the morning. Ooh, okay, maybe not. Grr. This is so dumb. This is put out by our government, you guys, the CDC. Okay, this isn't. This it looks like a joke, but it's not a joke. Let's go. Later, Mrs. Clement. Rah! And pushes her and slams her. Grr, slurp, Todd. What in the world is going on down there? Something weird is happening. I'm pretty sure Miss Clements was trying to attack her own cat, and she just nearly got me. What on earth are you talking about? Miss Clement is a sweet old lady. She wouldn't hurt a fly. I think you've got a little too into that movie. No, I'm serious. There's a weird virus going around. Look at the news. Quarantine efforts here in Raleigh, which is North Carolina, haven't done much to contain the spread of the virus. Over half the city is now infected, and new cases are showing up throughout the southeast. So, North Carolina's abbreviation is NC, which is 17. Back to you in the studio, Samantha. This is a very grave and dangerous situation. The governor has declared a state of emergency and has activated the National Guard. The governor is urging everyone who is not showing symptoms to stay in their homes and keep their doors locked. The CDC is working with local health departments on a counter-medicine. Until then, bunker down and don't go outside unless you have to. What? I thought you said that stuff like this only happened in the movies. What is going on, Todd? So see, they're trying to desensitize you to this, just like in the movies. They make this comic book look ridiculous on purpose and stupid, so you say, that's dumb. That would never happen. How dumb. Okay? This is what they want to do. They want you to think it's dumb. They want to fictionalize it because they don't want you to know that we live in a spiritually wicked world and these things are going to be coming on the earth. I don't know, but it sounds like we better sit tight. Max and I got some supplies together earlier. Maybe we should just sleep down here tonight. Minutes later, Todd and Julie have set up sleeping bags and turned on the radio. Warnings have been issued for dozens of counties about staying inside the area. Hospitals are being overrun. Oh my gosh. So here's a bunch of zombies walking in the streets. What? Wine. What is it, Max? It's still dark out. Okay, I'm coming. Let's peek outside and see what's happening. What the? Max, I think I better turn on the TV. Nothing but snow. Let's try the radio. Stay in your homes. Do not go outside. If you or your family begin showing symptoms such as slowed movement, slurred speech, or violent behaviors, isolate them to a secure area of the house. Stay tuned for more information on where to go. Stay in your... Todd, what's going on now? To be continued. Here's Preparedness 101 Zombie Pandemic Part 2 by the CDC. Several days later, at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. Green, I was just on my way to the lab. Dr. Chang. Have we isolated the sample from the state yet? Yes, the health department sent it in Monday, and we've managed to map the virus DNA. It appears to be a highly mutated form of the flu. They've labeled it Z5N1, or 25N1. It's hard to tell on the paper. Interesting. Do we know what the source is? I'm going to call it ZSN1, because zombies N1. No, sir, the field staff are still trying to investigate where it started. So, keep in mind, they're saying it's a flu virus, right? And they're making a medicine for you to put in your bodies so you don't get the flu virus. See what's happening? Something like that just went by, something maybe that just happened. But several of them have now become infected. The zombie virus is spreading rapidly, infecting 21 people for every infected person. So it's infecting 21 people per person, right? The more reasons to get the... I can't even read this because if I say this word too many times, I'll get flagged even though I'm reading right off of the CDC's web warning or preparedness comic. So we'll just call it medicine. All the more reason to get this medicine made and fast. I agree. I've called everyone in on this one. They're working round the clock. Excellent. Let me show you something Dr. Shosh. I don't know what that says. They could have made any other name be better than this one. Has been working on. We're using the same type of medicine that we use for the seasonal flu. Interesting. See what they're telling you here? You have to read between the lines. I can't say this stuff, but you can get what I'm trying to show you. They're using the same medicine as they do for the seasonal flu. So if you go get the seasonal flu shot, you're getting the same medicine they built for this. Does it cure you of it? Does it give it to you? The world may never know. Thomas has been modeling the medicine and how it will work once it enters the bloodstream, and soon we'll be able to distribute this medicine. It's going to take at least another week to get the first batch out. Another week? The entire Southeast could be infected by then. Kim, get on the phone with Susan's group. We need to get messages to the public on staying indoors and avoiding exposure. So, lock down. I'll get right on it, Dr. Green. Thomas, have you talked to Stockpile yet? No, sir. But they need to start moving supplies out to the States as soon as the medicine is ready. Indeed, they're going to be busy. I'll make a call to Hudson and let him know what's coming. Yes, this is Dr. Khan. Remember the Wrath of Khan, right? No, tell CNN I'll call them back later. Strategic National Stockpile, Hudson speaking. Hudson, it's Green. Time to round up the troops. We're going to have a medicine ready to go in a week, and we'll need your team to ship out all the meds and supplies that go with it. Roger that. I'll send an alert to the States to get trucks ready to ship out. Just let me know when you've got the drugs ready. Meanwhile, back at Todd and Julie's, we're almost out of food. It's been almost a week, Todd, and we haven't left the house. We need to get some food. Something's on the radio. Continues to spread. CDC is urging everyone to practice isolation, stay in your homes. If you must leave, go directly to a designated safe zone. Medicines will be shipped to the safe zone as soon as they are ready. Stay tuned for a list of safe zones in your area. Do you think they have food at one of these safe zones? They must. Why else would they tell people to go there? Spalding Elementary, MLK Community Center, and Jefferson High School pets are welcome at Lee Elementary in Wayne County. That's us, Lee Elementary. And you can come too, Max. All right, but how are we going to get out of here? We're going to have to make a run for it. They seem to be slow in the daytime, and the car's not too far away. All right, let's pack up a couple bags and get moving. It's going to be dark soon, and I don't want to be stuck outside with those things. Now, keep in mind, they keep telling you that they're slow and dumb, okay? But that is not the case. They are smart and fast. These are not just Walking Dead, okay? These are spirit-filled with Nephilim spirits, okay? The same spirits, the same demon spirits that possess people right now are going to be in these bodies. So, understand, they're not dumb. They're smarter than people. And they're going to have heightened senses, and they're going to be fast. It's going to be very, very dangerous. It will be like the zombies in I Am Legend and World War Z. They were super fast and super agile. I've got water, the last of the flood, a blanket, a flashlight, and the radio. Let me get Max's leash on, and I think we're ready. The coast is almost clear. There's one zombie just passing the driveway. Okay, as soon as this guy gets out of the way, I'll tell you when to go. And you've got to run. Go, go, go. Oh, Todd, they're everywhere. I think they've seen us. Okay, Max is in the back. Hurry, Todd. Oh, man, some of them are headed this way. Come on, girl, we're counting on you. Be sure your door's locked. Hey, Todd, go! Uh-oh, the fuel light just came on. How far is that school? What, you're out of gas? We've got 10 miles to go and it's starting to get dark. Well, we better drive fast and take chances. Well, that's great, right? For the CDC, drive fast and take chances. Do me a favor and try not to hit any of them. I would be running over them like crazy. Julie and Todd and Max race through town to reach the safe zone. The streets are empty. I guess most of them go into hiding during daylight. We made it to Lee Elementary School. What a sight for sore eyes. And just in time, the car's sputtering out. You folks made it just in time. We lock up at dusk and don't reopen until the morning. Well, it would have been nice if the radio had told them that, wouldn't it have been? Go on inside, get screened, signed in. They'll give you some food and a place to sleep. What's the sign say? Notice by order of Wayne County Health Department, all persons wishing to enter the safe zone must be screened prior to entry. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm Nurse Evans. Just follow me so we can get you both screened with a simple blood test. So they want to take you into the lab, which is Bale backwards, and give you a blood test. Todd, Julie, and Max follow the nurses to the makeshift lab that has been set up. Later, having been screened for the virus, Julie and Todd are cleared and allowed to enter the gymnasium, which has been converted into a shelter. This shelter is just a graveyard waiting to happen. Okay, Matt, so let's see what's happening outside. CDC shipped out its first supply of medicine against this novel virus that has been ravaging the nation. The first round should reach the safe zones as early as this evening. We're saved. I can't believe it. Hey, folks, the medicine's on the way. Look at it. They're all saying, yay, the medicine. Yay, let's put this in us. Yay, medicine. Right? This is how they want people to think. And this stuff works, you guys. The fear in people. And they think this is the solution. There's only one solution, and that's Jesus. While the shelter erupts in cheers, hugs, and tears of relief, outside the school's protective fence, shadowy figures are closing in. Well, they're so excited. They're hugging and cheering and crying because, oh, the medicine. Thank goodness for the medicine. Meanwhile, back at the National Stockpile Warehouse. All right, folks, listen up. At 0600, we start shipping out the first round of medicine and supplies go to the states. From there, the state health departments will divvy up the supplies and take them to the various points of dispensing. We've got a lot of work to do. Don't expect to get any breaks until everyone has been medicined. Now let's move. Look what they're saying, you guys. Don't expect any breaks until everyone has got the medicine. This guy's had way too much medicine. Look at him. Around sunset, the first truck arrives at the gate of the school. Hey, everybody, it's here, it's here. But with the setting sun, the zombies become more active and begin closing in on the school. Quick, get the truck inside the gate. Here they come. Sarge, we're gonna get overrun. We can't just shoot them. They're our fellow citizens. Okay. See, now, here's the thing. If these things are coming after you, they're already damned. They're no longer human. They are not your fellow citizens, and you should absolutely kill them. The zombie horde surrounds and overpowers the guards, then begins to break into the school, smashing windows and doors, headed for the crowded shelter in the gymnasium. Grrr. Oh my gosh, they're here, run! So let's read in between the lines. Everything was fine inside the school until the medicine came. As soon as the medicine was in the school, then the zombies were in the school. Do you see what they're saying without saying it? The zombies are in the medicine. Back in the gym, people are chattering happily with their families when they hear the glass breaking. All of a sudden, zombies break through the windows and doors and begin streaming in. Mass panic ensues. Everyone realizes there's nowhere to run. Todd, what do we do? Run to the lab area. Maybe there's a way out. Todd, look out. Grrr. No. Whoa, Ruff. Max, where? Roof. Wow, it was all a dream, Todd? What in the world is going on down there? Crack, boom. Ooh, look at that, right? What's this say to you guys? I saw Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Yep, here comes Apollo, right? They're piecing it all together for us. We just have to pay attention and read between the lines. Thunderstorms coming. Aha! I just was having a bad dream. I dreamt the country had been taken over by zombies and they almost got us. Ah, you and your scary movies. See, this is what happens when all you watch is horror films. What's that on the TV? Come on, I think I better get down to the basement and take a look at this bad storm. Turning off the TV, Todd and Julie head down to the basement. What are you looking for? Something that could come in real handy. This, I forgot I had it. Used to be my dad's. I've been thinking we should really make an emergency kit in case something happens. What if we get stuck in the house or evacuate? We need to have a plan. Wow, that old thing still works? Wayne, hey, that's us. Turn it up. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the following counties. Prince George's, Bartow, Wayne. I can't read this stuff. It's so small. All right, but I'm serious. I think we need to make an emergency kit. I hear ya. So, as soon as the storm passes, we can make all the kits and plans you want. But next time, I'm picking the movie. So, even though this comic, put out by the CDC, is wicked dumb, there was a lot of information hidden inside that warns us of things to come. The medicine is only one part of the problem. There is the part of the problem of the frequency as well. That comes from CERN. Now, how do we connect the CDC and the medicine with CERN? Well, I showed you guys this in the Halo video, that 343 Industries is owned by Microsoft. Remember, Microsoft played a big role in the medicine, right? Bill Gates, Billy Goat, Gateway to Hell, Bill Gates. I think he is a fallen entity. Now, it's named after the character from the Halo games, 343 Guilty Spark. And it is 17 years old, this company. Very interesting that it would be 17 this year. You're probably wondering why I'm talking about 343 Industries. Just give me 1 second. See here it says, in the same way the tongue is a small part of the body, but it boasts of great things. Consider how a small spark sets a great forest ablaze. So here we have the Bible telling us a small spark sets a great forest ablaze, right? Well, remember, we are the trees. Mark 8:24. And he looked up and said, because Jesus had said, what do you see? Because he was curing this man of blindness. And the man looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. So we are the trees. And the spark starts the forest ablaze. So 343 Guilty Spark is going to destroy humanity, right? And this is part of Halo, CERN. Okay, if you haven't watched my Halo video, it's pretty long, but you should check it out because it's crazy. But what is 343, you guys? CDC, right? This is the CDC. 3, 4, 3. And 3 times 4 is 12 times 3 is 36. 6, 6, 6. So there's a few things I can tell you for sure. Graphene, or graphene oxide. Graphene is the powdered version. Graphene oxide is the liquid version. Is Nephilim DNA. You see it all the time in movies as the black goo, like in Venom. Or when they show people being possessed by ancient Egypt, it's always this black goo that's taking them over. Just like in the movie John Dies at the End. I don't know if I'm showing that clip after or before this clip. This is a movie called John Dies at the End. And it is about the medicine and how it makes you able to coexist in the spiritual world and in the physical realm. So it's just basically a slick way of saying it will open you up to spiritual possession. Now try to pay close attention to what is said here. I'll play it twice.
Hello.
Oh, you can hear me, so I guess you took the soy sauce. Why? Did I tell you not to?
Hey, who's got you?
Justin White, or that thing that used to be Justin. There's nothing left of Justin inside of him now.
So they refer to the medicine as the soy sauce, and as you will see, it is graphene.
That used to be Justin. There's nothing left of Justin inside of him now. A couple of days, Justin's gonna hatch. When that happens, we'll become a spawning pod thing. Last world that saw these things was saturated within 100 days.
Okay, I got another question. Everyone who took the soy sauce is either dead or comatose. Dead or comatose. Except for me.
Probably able to adjust, but you should have figured out by now, Dave. You don't choose the soy sauce. The soy sauce chooses you.
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 If they can't use you, it kills you. If they can't use you, it kills you. What I hear, it plays with you first.
Now notice here in the end scene, straight in front of the truck, is a 5 Grizzle tower, okay? And notice what was said. You don't choose the soy sauce chooses you. Just like I was showing you that this medication has been gene mapped to affect certain people in certain ways. It is hunting for specific bloodlines. And if it doesn't choose you, it will mess with you first and then kill you. So let me replay this clip.
You understand me? This is John.
Hello.
Oh, you can hear me, so I guess you took the soy sauce. Why? Did I tell you not to?
Hey, who's got you?
Justin White, or that thing that used to be Justin. There's nothing left of Justin inside of him now. A couple of days, Justin's gonna hatch. When that happens, we'll become a spawning pod thing. Last world that saw these things was saturated within 100 days.
Okay, I got another question. Everyone who took the soy sauce is either dead or comatose. Dead or comatose. Except for me.
Now look at that. That is exactly what graphene looks like when it is interacting with a frequency, which I will show you in a YouTube video after this clip.
Dead or comatose. Except for me.
Probably able to adjust, but you should have figured out by now, Dave. You don't choose the soy sauce. The soy sauce chooses you.
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 If they can't use you, it kills you. If they can't use you, it kills you. What I hear, it plays with you first.
Now this is graphene oxide being poured into a dish which will be set on top of a neodymium magnet. Now keep in mind that the frequencies that come out of these towers are electromagnetic frequencies. Okay, they interact with things like a magnet would. So let's see what this graphene oxide, aka Nephilim DNA, looks like. Look at it. So there is a magnet in that table or under that board. And you can see that it's turning up little spikes, just like in the movies. You see it turning up with spikes. That's a pretty serious magnet. Look, and when they even get it a little bit close, look at it. Okay, this is what's in the medicine. This is what opens up the uncleanness for spiritual possession. This is disturbing, but I want to show you guys that there is something to this. This is not just a theory.
Everyone who took the soy sauce is either dead or comatose. Dead or comatose. Except for me.
You should have figured out by now, Dave. You should have figured out by now, Dave. You don't choose the soy sauce. You don't choose the soy sauce. The soy sauce chooses you.
Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction. Chemical X.
The soy sauce chooses you. The soy sauce chooses you.
Chemical X.
The soy sauce chooses you.
Chemical X.
If they can't use you, it kills you. If they can't use you, it kills you. What I hear, it plays with you first. What I hear, it plays with you first.
That's graphene. It's Nephilim DNA. It will possess you. Okay? It's alive. And I can tell you that it is also part of the medicine. Okay, that has been proven. Now, the frequency of 5G or the radio waves or the magnetic impulses, okay, this is electromagnetic signals that are being sent to this chemical, which is part of this medicine. Now, I'm going to show you a couple clips of videos here. What happens when you expose graphene to 5G. So check this out. So what you're watching is graphene particles in water that are being exposed to 5G radio waves. Look at it, you guys. It's alive. Without the 5G going, it's dormant. But with 5G, it is not dormant. It is alive. Okay? The combination of these two things together are what bring this satanic concoction to life. Now, I want to show you another video. Here is a cell phone. Here is a pile of powdered graphene. Watch what happens when they make a call. I'm just going to turn it down because it's just in a language I don't understand, and so there's really nothing that we can't just see. So here we have a phone call being made by the graphene. Now watch the reaction from a phone call being made. Keep in mind, you guys, this is in the medicine. Okay, this is demonic. Okay, a lot of people are like, oh, it's not Nephilim DNA. Yes, it is. Look at it. It's alive. It's a spiritual thing. And we have built the technology to give it the ability to come back to life. Okay? This is what's happening. This is from a movie called Dead Don't Die. Here you will see zombies with cell phones chanting things like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Siri. Keep in mind that Siri is Iris backwards, and the I is the gateway to the soul.
Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi,
Bluetooth,
Siri, Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi,
Bluetooth,
Siri.
Let me show you this. I'm not going to play this commercial, but this is a commercial by T-Mobile because I don't want to get copyright, so I'm not going to play this. But this is Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, and it's called the Big Game Ad. This was a Super Bowl commercial. Look at the name of the hashtag. The GOAT in 5G. So right here, they're telling you that Satan is in the 5G signal. Okay? It was created to bring him forth. Now, if you think all these 5G towers are on right now, you're wrong. Okay? They're putting them up, but the plan is not coming to pass yet. Okay? They might shoot a couple here and there, but they have yet to turn all these things on. And when they do, believe me, you will know it, because that will be the beginning of the zombie apocalypse. Now, they are trying to show us something. This is being marketed to children. Okay, this is, I guess it's called Zombies or something on Disney. I have no idea. Found this during research. But this kid here is a zombie, right? He's on a football team. And this is his friend, right? And she's going to operate a computer here, which interfaces with this zombie kid, and she can make him super powerful. Notice the number 23. And Z, remember World War Z. Z's all about zombies. Up here, I believe it also says 23. So here she is controlling him, and she will make adjustments on this computer to change how the signal affects the zombie kid. So when he gets out here on the field, you will see she told him to swipe this band, which is a zombie band. Just like the smartwatches, right? So he's connected to that interface. And when he swipes it, it changes him. You can see him getting all blue-veined in the face. It makes him more powerful. He's like Super Nephilim, right? And all these people are celebrating this zombie. So I want to show you this because this is about zombies on the football field. And look what it says right here. Super Bowl Sunday. Zombies. Zed the Zombie, the football star, Super Bowl Sunday. There is something sinister going on, you guys. Look at these games I've found. Plants vs. Zombies, which I've never played but I have heard of. They made a football game. So you have zombie football players. There's another game on the Play Store called Baneball. And it's about zombie football. There are clear messages being sent here, you guys. We need but to receive them. This is a movie called Cell. It's about a cell phone frequency that comes through people's phones and turns them into rageful zombies. And here you see that they are all inside of a football field. Okay, this whole football field is packed full of zombies, and these people are going to try to kill them. As you can see by looking down at the end of the field, there's the field goal post. This is a football field, okay, and it is full of zombies with cell phones. This is also a theme that we're going to be seeing. This is a short clip from Dead Don't Die, but you will see a guy in a football uniform on a field as a zombie. So I just silenced the sound through this part because the sound was a little obnoxious and unnecessary. You just need to see the football player zombie in the scene. That's what's important. This is from a movie called Zombieland. Now, I've written little things on the screen, but I will probably pause it for moments to talk. But you will see that Washington, D.C. destroys the world. Okay, this is where the 7 hills are. This is where the Antichrist rises out of. This is where the power comes from, right? The 72 fallen entities. The 72 stars around the apotheosis of George Washington. This is where the darkness comes from. And as you will see in the beginning of this movie, it shows you how the whole world basically is Washington, D.C., because you'll see D.C., which takes up most of the world, and the rest of it is being destroyed. And then, of course, we will have the zombie and football tie-in. So there's Washington, D.C., taking up all of the world, so it controls the world, right? It's over.
It's amazing
the whole
how
world.
quickly things can go from bad to total shitstorm.
As you can see, it's mad destruction.
And why am I alive when everyone around me has turned to meat? It's because of my list of rules.
And here we are, zooming in on the football field, right at the beginning of the zombie movie. Notice the V on the field. We know that that is Lucifer's letter, and we also know it's how the medicine starts.
Rule number 1 for surviving Zombieland: cardio. When the virus struck, for obvious reasons, peace.
Notice how they said when the virus struck. This is where the zombies came from. Notice that he tackled him on the 33-yard line. Okay? This is all ritual, spell work leading up to something. I figured since this movie was talking about Washington and showing Washington that I would show you a couple things about Washington real quick. So here you can see we have the White House. You see it says the White House. Now I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a pentagram right here. See it? I'll turn it off and on so that you can see it. You see it? And the point is at the White House. So right here is where the point is, at the White House. Let me show you something. Under the roof here is 33. And on the edges is 88. 8 windows and 8 windows and 33. You see how the 33 is in between the 2 portals? This is demonic spell work. So here is the Capitol building and the surrounding area. Now, there is an owl here. Okay, the superb owl. The screech owl, Lilith. And I will show you, but I have to flip it sideways in order for you to see it. So here's the Capitol. And you can see that there is an owl. Now, I know I flipped this one sideways. You know what? I'll just turn this one. So here you can see the owl, the outline. You can see it's traced just like this. And the tail, and the feet, and the wings. You see it? Now, here is the Capitol. Again, going down towards the Lincoln Memorial, there is a square and compass. Right here. You see it? One end is at the Building of the Law, and the other end is at the Museum of the Bible. And they both end at the Washington Monument and come to a point. Completely demonic, this city. Now, if we go to the other side of the Capitol, down towards Lincoln Park, from the Capitol, you will see that there is the Star of Remphan, their god, the false god, Satan. Can you see it in the landscape? The symbolism is all over in the earth, especially in this demonic town. So I just wanted to add the stuff in there real quick so you could see it. And I'll do a little bit more on Washington later on at some point. But that's not what this video is about. So that's the presentation, you guys. That's what I got for you. I hope you're able to see what I'm trying to show you, and I hope you receive the warning I'm trying to give to you. Of course, we don't know the dates and times that these things will happen. We can only see the spell work and the rituals being done here in the physical realm, but these things will start manifesting in the spiritual realm, and then they will come down and start manifesting here in the physical realm. That's how these things work. They do these rituals, they do these sacrifices, and that gives power to the spiritual realm to perform certain things in the spirit. Once they're performed in the spirit, they will manifest into the physical realm. All we know for sure by the signs and the symbols that we're seeing is that these things are going to happen soon. I do know that 2024 is going to be a year like none other. This is going to be a year where everyone's world is turned upside down. So prepare yourself, guys. This stuff is not going to get any easier to talk about, and the stuff I'm revealing just keeps getting crazier and crazier and more wicked and more evil and coming faster and faster, and that's how it's going to keep going until it pops. As Jesus said, it's like birth pangs, right? They'll start coming faster and more intense until eventually the wickedness is birthed. So prepare your spirits, prepare your households, prepare your friends, prepare your families, prepare anyone that will listen. Share this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not. There's going to be much more information coming out. Plus we're doing Bible studies to edify our spirits and get closer to the Lord, so that when these things come, we will have the strength to stand against them, and we will have the protection of our Lord, which is going to be 100% necessary. So stay vigilant, stay prayed up, and read your Bibles. And until next time, you guys, take care.